Hey 6-8, happy Friday. Thought I would come outside again for another tip and give you the old barn as a backdrop. It's a little bright, so I'm going to be squinting a little bit. Don't worry, I don't have a migraine headache or anything like that. It's just sunny outside, and it's going to be nice and sunny and warm, which on Sunday is supposed to be like 100 degrees, so it's a great day to be in church because we have air conditioning, so you can come sit in the air conditioning for a little while on Sunday morning. Malachi chapter 2, verse 10. Have we not all one Father? Did not one God create us? Why do we profane the covenant of our fathers by breaking faith with one another? Judah has broken faith. A detestable thing has been committed in Israel and in Jerusalem. Judah has desecrated the sanctuary the Lord loves by marrying the daughter of a foreign god. As for the man who does this, whomever he may be, may the Lord cut him off from the tents of Jacob, even though he brings offerings to the Lord Almighty. Another thing you do, you flood the Lord's altar with tears. You weep and wail because he no longer pays attention to your offerings or accepts them with pleasure from your hands. You ask, why? It's because the Lord is acting as the witness between you and the wife of your youth, because you have broken faith with her, though she is your partner, the wife of your marriage covenant. Has not the Lord made them one? And flesh and spirit they are his. And why one? Because he was seeking godly offspring. So guard yourself in your spirit and do not break faith with the wife of your youth. I hate divorce, says the Lord God of Israel, and I hate a man's covering himself with violence as well as with his garment, says the Lord Almighty. So guard yourself in your spirit and do not break faith. Do not be faithless is what he's talking about. We've been talking about all week. Today, I just want to make a quick application how this applies to my world. And so this topic we kind of look at how does the application of this passage affect how we interact with the world around us, or our world on a daily basis. And I told you yesterday I was going to talk a little bit more about it, but I think it comes back to that idea of commitments, which we've talked about all week long, keeping your commitments, those commitments that you make, but keeping your commitments that you make with people in the world. So, for one, don't steal. That would be one thing. If you make a purchase, pay for it. If you're going to take something from someone, they deserve to be paid for it. But then what other commitments do you make to people in the world? Do you make commitments in some kind of business arrangement? Are you following through with those commitments? It may be a hard thing to do, but follow through with the business agreements that you make, or if you make make purchases on things that maybe aren't the best decision that you make, but you make them anyway. The rent-to-own things are a great example of that. If you do a rent-to-own, you enter into an agreement. You need to abide by the terms of that agreement. Don't short the system by skipping out on payments and forcing them to come and repossess it. You agreed to those terms. You need to live by those terms. Credit cards, so on and so forth. We were the ones that got into credit card debt, so we need to pay back the credit card company the debt that we owe. We don't just shortchange them. The same thing with house payments. And as we kind of interact with the world, we need to be faithful in the commitments that we make. We need to be faithful in the commitments that we make to people on a relational basis. Do we make a commitment to someone that we're going to help them in a relational way? We're gonna care for them as a friend and as a neighbor. We need to make sure we honor that commitment. If we say we're going to be at someone's house, we need to make sure that we actually show up when we say we're going to be there. When someone asks for our help, when we say that we're going to help, we've made a commitment that we're going to help. So follow through on your commitment. Don't say you're going to be there and then not show up. You don't say you're going to help one of your neighbors, help someone in the world around you, and then don't do it. That's breaking a commitment. We need to be people that honor our commitments. And so I think we just need to kind of have on our radar any commitment that we make. Anytime we say yes, we need to follow through on the yes. Anytime we say we are going to do something, we need to actually do it. Even if it's hard for us to do, even if it is a sacrifice, or if it requires something for us, requires something of us to be able to follow through on it, we still need to follow through on it because we made the commitment that we were going to do it. So look at the commitments that you're making in the world around you, business, family, neighbor, whatever it is, and make sure you're following through, because your commitment and how you follow through is not just a testimony to you, but it's a testimony to your relationship with God, and people will judge God based on your commitment to them. So have a great weekend. We'll see you Sunday as we look at starting chapter 3 in the book of Malachi.